So I think we've made spirituality look a certain way, and in doing so, I really think we've done it a disservice. In some wellness spaces, it's reduced to aesthetics, expensive experiences, or the idea that healing has to look profound to be real. And in other wellness spaces, spirituality gets ignored altogether, essentially avoided so things feel more digestible, marketable, and less polarizing. But our spirituality is an important part of holistic wellness. And I'm not talking about dogma, performance, or the idea that one path is better than another. It's just the deeply human need to feel connected to source, to ourselves, to meaning, to community, to purpose, to something bigger than the moment that we find ourselves in. And to me, a spiritual practice is simply an intentional act that helps cultivate that connection. That's it. So, research on ritual behavior, even simple self created rituals, continues to show that a consistent pattern of ritual can help us reduce stress, lower anxiety, increase our feelings of grounding and agency. And they don't have to necessarily be religious. They don't have to be elaborate. They don't have to cost thousands of dollars or a plane trip to a far off location. And they definitely don't have to look like everyone else's. What matters most is the intention. So, yes, a spiritual practice can look like meditation, prayer, reading sacred texts, attending religious service, fellowship, healing, ceremonies, acts of generosity, keeping a spiritual journal, tending to an altar, or a gratitude practice. These are very beautiful, time tested forms, and they absolutely count. But some of the most profound spiritual work happens in the quiet act of caring for yourself as a vessel, one that's capable of holding deepened consciousness. So, a spiritual practice can also look like drinking your water, resting without guilt, setting a boundary, apologizing fully, caring for yourself, walking in silence, dancing, being in shavasana, cooking a nourishing meal, breathing before you react, laughing with the people you love, touching the earth with your bare feet, being in nature. The real spiritual work lives inside you. And these aren't lesser practice. They're how you prepare the ground. The common thread between all of these is the same. It's really just intention. And so my own spiritual practices have included combinations of both lists. And I can say that both have contributed deeply to my spiritual growth and sustained me in certain seasons of my life. But it isn't necessarily that one looks the most spiritual from the outside. It's one that genuinely helps you feel connected to yourself, to source, to purpose, and to life beyond survival mode. And I do believe that we can approach spirituality in wellness spaces much more authentically without the dogma, without the bypassing, and without pretending that there's only really one path to connection. I think some powerful shifts can happen in public as well as in private. And what matters is that the intention is truly yours. So if you're building or deepening your spiritual practice, there's a whole library inside the TNTW portal to support you via guided meditations, reflective tools, journeys, and just resources designed to help you reconnect with your own inner compass. Link for that is in the bio as well as in the description below. And that's your wellness tip for the week. And I'll see you next week.